So there are only two people that you need to make proud in this life: your 8-year-old self and your 80-year-old self. That's it. So let's talk about that a little bit, shall we? Welcome to my journey of self discovery, life balance, career success, and business creation. This podcast works to answer the question of how successful professionals like us stop drifting and get focused on keeping our careers and businesses growing rapidly while having a full, balanced, and vibrant life that we absolutely love. What we call the Third Power Life. And this is the Third Power Life Podcast. Feeling a little under the weather today, so I'm going to keep this one relatively short. But saw this online, thought it was absolutely fantastic that there are two people that we need to make proud in this life: our 8-year-old self and our 80-year-old self. So for me, that's, my inner child. Is my inner child alive? Am I living a life that has joy, has magic in it? I don't know if you remember when you were a kid and summers like took forever. The summer vacation was like a year long, is what it felt like, right? And time went slowly in general. And you could be out and just everything was cool. Everything was magic. And and as we get older, I always remember my parents telling me, and now I find myself telling my children, the older you get, the faster time speeds up. And the reality of it is that time is the same. Time is relative. But as adults, we've missed out on the magic. And that what made time go slowly for us as children is because everything was new, everything was different, everything was magic. And so, when you have that, the magic of a child within you, time can spread out. I still remember traveling with my mother to the UK for the first time. And that trip, I think it was like 4 or 5 weeks, but it felt like forever. And I remember remarking, it's like, this is like when we were kids, and it was because everything was new. It was new experiences, new foods, new places, new everything. Everything was magic. And there was wonder, right? And that's what being young is about. So we need to make sure that we are keeping wonder, keeping magic alive so that our 8-year-old self would be proud of us, right? We have to keep that magic alive. Now, the other side of it is the other person we need to keep proud is our 80-year-old self. I don't want to get to the end of my life. Now, personally, I plan on living past 80, but there's that's a whole different conversation. But I don't want to get to the end of my life and think, oh, I wish I had done that. I shoulda, I coulda. It's the old rocking chair test. Imagine yourself, you're old, and coming towards the twilight of your life and sitting on the porch in your rocking chair. Do you think of all the adventures you had and all of the experiences you had? Or do you sit back and go, oh, if only I had done that when I were young? If only I had, all of the regrets. I don't want to have regrets. I want to have lived my life fully. I want to have lived a good life, a great life, a third power life. I want to have had all of the experiences. I don't want regrets. And so we need to be living our lives now so that we don't have regrets when we get older. One of my favorite things to do on like team building things at work is, what's on your bucket list, right? What are some things that you really want to do before you die, before you kick the bucket? And everybody, like the warm up for a meeting or something like that, everybody gives one. But I have a number of things that are on my bucket list that I want to do. I want to set foot on all 7 continents. I want to get my pilot's license. Want to go to Iceland. So there are all of these things. And at the end of it, the question I always ask is, why are you waiting? What's your plan now? Because if it stays a wish that, yeah, one day I want to do that, it's probably not going to happen. It's always going to stay one day. Now, you might not be able to afford a trip to go to all 7 continents, or you might not be able to spend the $8,000 to $10,000 that it costs to get your pilot's license. But if you start saving now, if you come up with a plan now, you could do that. Maybe it takes 5 years. You save $1,000, $2,000 a year to get that 10,000. Well, 5 years is going to pass anyway. So you might as well be doing something that you don't want to you don't want to be sitting in your rocking chair at the end of your life going, I really wish I had gotten my pilot's license, but I just never did. So don't do that. What's on your bucket list? What are some things that what would just really make life worth living? And let's make a plan for that now. You don't have to do it now, but start making the plan for it now, not just dreaming about it, because we don't want to let down our 80-year-old selves. So that's it. The 2 people you need to keep proud, your 8-year-old self, that inner child, keep the magic alive, and your 80-year-old self, no regrets. You do that, and you're living your life to the 3rd power. Till tomorrow, my friends. I'm glad you enjoyed this podcast. Please let us know what impacted you in today's episode. You can join our Discord or Facebook community to connect with like-minded people that want a real 3rd power life. You can go to thirdpowerlife.com or look in the show notes for links. And remember, hit that like, subscribe, and rate button for the 3rd Power Life podcast. Until next time.